G'day world, Chris Hogan coming to you live from Chancellor State College, and I'm here with Audra, Head of Science and Technology.
Science and Engineering, yep.
Science and Engineering. Well, she's not over there, she's over here. And I'm here with the winners of the Mayor's Telstra Technology Awards, RoboGems, and also our entrepreneur in residence, Ian Mason. How you going, guys?
Good.
Congratulations on the win. So you're going to take us through a bit of a journey on what it is you won, or what made you win, rather. That's it. So I'm just going to switch cameras. Here we go. So tell us about it, guys.
So we entered MTTA at the start of this year, and we entered with an idea of a robot that could basically care for your garden all by itself. And through mentoring sessions over a couple of weeks, about 4 weeks, we turned that idea into a functioning product called the KDH. The KDH stands for a kitchen top helper, and it's an automated robot that can water and care for your plants without you doing anything. It's as easy as pressing a button and it going on a 2-week cycle, maintaining and watering your plants. So it's a vertical machine about yay high with 3 layers and then a water box at the top. And using a cipher system and a controlling box, it can turn on and off the water flow and water your plants according to how much water they need.
Fantastic. And so can you actually configure that based on the different types of plants?
So yeah, we did research regarding alfalfa, and it's also really easy to program for other plants as well. And because of that, you can have multiple plants using the same robot. So alfalfa on the bottom, baby beetroot in the middle, and lettuce on the top, for example.
And that's a diagram right there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so does it have sensors that kind of work out the moisture levels in the soil? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really
Yeah, so we did a lot of research and a lot of experiments ourselves to determine what's the best water level during germination and during when it's just being planted and when you're harvesting.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's really cool. It's really interesting because I've said this a number of times since I've been here, but Holland is the second largest exporter of food produce in the world. And you think about that, it's a country the size of the postage stamp in Europe. Yet there's so much potential in Australia to be sort of doing even better than that, using technology like these guys are developing. So it's really cool to see it happening for real in schools, because this is kind of the future of agriculture here.
And water is such an important resource that if you can measure the whether or not the soil actually needs water or not, you're effectively not wasting water, right? So yeah, well done, guys, well done. And so what was the journey like actually going through, I guess, the creation and then presenting at the Mayor's Technology Awards?
It was really fun, but it was also a lot of hard work, staying back to like 9 o'clock at school sometimes, eating pizza for dinner, which is always healthy. But
So that sounds like fun to me. It's a life of an entrepreneur.
but yeah, it was really great. Just we talked to a lot of people with a lot of different careers and expertise in all these different areas. And it's just crazy to think that without MTTA and without us doing robotics, we wouldn't have all these opportunities that we have now.
Yeah. And so what are some of the other opportunities that you've been presented since winning that award?
So at the start of this term, we went to Sydney and we went and visited entrepreneurial companies that help startups become a real business. And we spoke to lots of entrepreneurs that have startup businesses in agriculture. And we also went to Telstra and we flew drones from Sydney in Mexico, and that was really cool.
Mexico as in overseas Mexico? Yeah, cool. We have a Mexico in New South Wales as well. So, and how have you enjoyed the experience? Are you talking with people from NASA as well and the like?
We haven't spoken to people at NASA, but we do have our contacts with Dr. Carl in Sydney, I believe.
And also Marita Chang, who was the 2016 Young Australian of the Year. She's also helped us out a lot.
Chris, on that, I can also mention we have some other collaborative links with, last year we had the opportunity to connect RoboGems with some of the hot desk companies that were with us at the Innovation Centre, and we provided a little bit of mentoring back to them last year, this team. So
It's great that everyone's playing a part, and we've also got Sunshine Coast Maker Spaces helping out with some of the prototype parts for RoboGems and RoboKing. So it's a real collaborative effort.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well done.
It's awesome to see the collaboration that's going on internationally, nationally, locally. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. And so where to from here, guys?
So our next big project is a part of FLL, First Lego League, and this year's theme is Into Orbit. And so for that, we have to create a project and a robot that completes an obstacle course. And for the project, we have decided to focus on growing plants in a Martian environment, which is basically the atmosphere of Mars. So for that, we have an acrylic box that's airtight, and we're going to be completing experiments up the CO2, such as putting baking soda into vinegar. That's really good. That's a really good way of upping CO2, and also decreasing air pressure and decreasing the temperature. And we want to see if it's possible to grow everyday house plants in that environment.
That's so gnarly. I love it. Awesome. Well, where else could you do that in the world but here, right? You've got all the connections you need. NASA, obviously, Dr. Carl, and entrepreneurs coming in and helping out. So fantastic. And how are you finding this experience? Is it a little bit like mind blowing?
Yeah, so when the girls come to me with this next project, I said, okay, so what's the idea? What do you want to do? And they were like, we want to grow plants on Mars. And I'm like, yep, no worries, you're in year 10. That's not a big thing at all. So no, but really exciting because they do, just knowing that we've got students this age that are actually thinking about our planet and thinking how can we do things like optimal water so we don't waste water, kitchen top helpers so people are getting exposed to growing things, because we do have generations of students that think plants come from supermarkets. And so just knowing that they're actively involved in that. And then one of my favourite from this opportunity was working with one of the professors about using recycled plastics, so then making their whole thing a sustainable project. So that concept, I know at their age, is just fantastic.
It is fantastic. And guys, we're here for the next 2 days, roaming around Sunshine Coast, which I believe is the home of innovation for Australia, not just Queensland. And thanks to everybody who's with us. And we're following Ian Mason, who is the entrepreneur on residence for the next 2 days. Keep watching on facebook.com/Beach City Life. Cheers.
Well done.